All right. My name is Chad Marshall. I'm an undergraduate at the University of Central Oklahoma, and was born, raised in Oklahoma, and I like history. Why did you select the UCO as a university to attend? Well, it was the first and only one I applied to. I don't really have any specific loyalty or of wanting to go to University of Central Oklahoma, but I mean, degree's a degree. Um, not the same wherever you. What is your major and why? I'm a math major, your science major. Uh, I like history, as like I said, but I don't think history would pay the bills unless you're like Ronald Hutton. Uh, but I don't really want to stay in academia. I actually had a correspondence with Ronald Hutton a couple years back. I asked him, like in the literature, what was the earliest non-serpent-like form of a dragon ever seen? And he told me pretty much Leviathan from the Bible. That was nice. That was cool. That was a great conversation. Um, how might this class be important to your particular major or in your life? Okay. So I did peek at a couple of the modules, and I saw that each and every one of them begins with a famous dead person. And to me, that's golden. You know, I mean, I'm a senior, and like, even though I'm not done with core university courses like I should be, in my mind, I'm kind of done. But seeing that at the beginning of each lecture, I think it's going to be a good time. I'm going to enjoy it. I think I'm going to enjoy this 8-week course a lot. Um, what is a thought provoking idea related to biology that you've recently heard? Well, let me think. Uh, okay. James Krall. So James Krall, born in 1821, had dropped out of all formal education. I don't remember the circumstances, but he had ended up being a janitor at the museum of the Andersonian University. And in his free time, he would just read. He'd read books, read. And he'd actually start conversing with the greatest minds of his time, and including Charles Darwin. And he'd actually spoke with Darwin. They conversed back and forth, talking about the erosion of the earth from rivers. So, and the reason I bring up James Krall is because is his theory in solar variation. And so the Earth has an elliptical orbit around the sun, right? And if the eccentricity of that orbit, of that ellipse, is large enough, then that produces colder winters. Which, okay, think about that for a sec. So, what if that compounds a colder winter over 100 years? What about over 1,000 years? Uh, Eventually, you get a self-sustaining freeze, also known as an ice age. And James Krall had theorized about the previous couple ice ages that had happened, and he even predicted how long um, the most recent ice age was. And so, um, even out of the ice age, he argued that this colder winter would have massive effects on the people and animals living during that time. It would affect trade routes. It would affect migration patterns of animals and people, and just like what kind of resources they can use, what can they eat, you know. Uh, so yeah, just that just kind of blew my mind. I think. What do you think you'll be doing 10 years from now? Hope I'm not homeless. I don't know. 10 years from now. using using my degrees. That's what I hope. Aside from being homeless, my other biggest fear is being in the work field and not utilizing what I'm doing now. Just not. I think I went to Sam's for a job interview, and I told the dude that I was a computer science major, which I was only a computer science major at the time. And he's like, "Oh, me too." And then I'm like, "Oh no, why are you working here then?" And so I want to try to make the best out of my time here as possible, so that I can, be developed and keep wanting to learn. Uh, Not particularly in academia. I would like to go back to academia once I have, you know, security, and like assets, from working. Do you have any particular concerns about the class? Would you like to share with you at this point in the semester? Oh, I don't know, about halfway through the semester. Well, not really. I'm just gonna treat this as an IBE course and try to get as ahead as I can. All right, I think that's all. I think you get a little bit of what I'm about. All right, Chad Marshall signing out.